In these unprecedented times, we were inspired by you, our passionate community. It is your passion that fuels Harley-Davidson and pushes us to continue leading our industry through innovation and evolution, but staying true to who we are and what we stand for. That was a quote from CEO Jochen Zeitz in the 2022 model release video. And that will give you a little idea of what this particular episode is going to be about. It's probably really just gave it all away.
Pretty much.
It's all right. It's how we roll here. But that is what the episode is going to be about. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it. You now have the option to buy products right now, knowing you can pay in 4 equal payments, interest-free, using Shop Pay installments at the Law Abiding Biker store. Check it out. Hey, Bikeaholics, Zero 3D has a wide variety of innovative products for your Harley-Davidson and the brand new line for the all-new Honda Goldwing named Gold Strike.
I like gold.
Top quality, affordable chrome lighting and comfort products. Zero Gold Strike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Zero 3D products. Want to ride longer?
Yeah.
Tired of a sore and achy ass?
You know it.
Then fix it with a high-quality butt buffer seat cushion. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store. Check out our lineup of butt buffer seat cushions.
Respect your ass.
Here's an email from patron complimenting the Law Abiding Biker podcast from Doug Patridge. He hit us up at lawabidingbiker.com/contact. That's how he did it. Hello, Ryan. I wanted to send you a message and let you know you have the best podcast I've ever heard. Wow. I just recently started listening to it. I literally listen to it every day at work. You and the crew rock. I have learned so much just by listening to your podcast, and now that I am a patron member with you, I am excited to watch all your videos. I just want to thank you for being so open and welcoming the biker community. Once again, you guys are the best. Thanks, Doug, for hitting us up. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/contact, where you can contact us. You can also leave a voicemail over there from any computer or your phone using the built-in microphones. Leave us a voicemail. We love having those. Love to put them out to the rest of the community, or just hear from you. There you go. Oh yeah, once you've had Rick Rack, you'll never go back. The ultimate motorcycle luggage rack solution. Forget those messy straps and bungee cords. Go strapless with a Rick Rack quick attach luggage system and quality bag. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and get hooked up now. Here we go, Lurch.
A little Pablo Calcerada music there.
You know it. Well, welcome back, you freaking bikeaholics. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the Big MM, also known as the
99%.
That's right. By listening, you are part of what we call the hashtag
Biker Revolution.
Of course, we just have one question for you before we get started.
What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Mount up and let us take you on another wild-ass ride.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Welcome back, guys. Ryan Erlacher here, of course, your host of the Law Abiding Biker podcast and your
high-tech redneck.
There you go. And, of course, we got Lurch in the house today. Should we do it?
Let's do it. It's been a while.
There you go. Straight from Lurch. Glad to have you in the house on this beautiful morning.
Yeah,
so,
it's weird podcasting in the morning. I was mentioning to you earlier that I was used to doing these podcasts with beer and or whiskey, and doing them with coffee. Well, it's okay. It's just different. So I had to put a little clue in my coffee this morning just to kind of make it feel right.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Attaboy. Before we get started, of course, this episode will be, we've got a lot to talk about with the 2022 model release. So we'll see. Maybe a 2-part episode. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. But at any rate, we're always announcing new free videos. A lot of them have been out for a long time, but we get to them when we can. And that's the newest one, or that we want to announce, is how to install 444 progressive touring shocks on a Harley-Davidson and adjust your sag, your preload. And you can get that at lawabidingbiker.com/ and whatever episode number this is. That's how you can always get the show notes. And that link for that new free video will be in there. Of course, what's another easy way to search Lurch?
/videos.
Videos,
right?
or to use the search.
Oh, yeah, you could use a handy little search bar at the top of our page and put in what you need to look for, and all kinds of articles and videos and podcast stuff will come up.
Yep. Very good search functionality on the website.
I use it quite a bit just to find our own stuff.
I think on desktop, it's in the upper right-hand corner. And on mobile, you got to scroll down for it.
Down to the bottom,
I've
believe.
noticed, down to the bottom. So, use that search functionality, and we've got years of content built up in there for you guys. Of course, we like our sponsors. We love our sponsors, our beloved sponsors up front. They help support this show, make sure we can keep going. But these folks also, we want to thank. They are direct sponsors of this podcast. And we'll start with we'll get a bunch of patrons here. Dwayne Hillier of Innisfil, Ontario, Canada, top tier. William Aitken of Spring, Texas. Ian Anderson of Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Greg Marshall of Gig Harbor, Washington, right in our backyard. Keith Bradley of Claiborne, Texas, he is top tier. And Paul Petrash of Sterling Heights, Michigan, also top tier.
Finishing it out with Brady McGee of South Burlington, Vermont, top tier. Bob Richer of Denton, Texas. And Khalil Makarem of Saginaw, Texas. Thank you, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Pledge a certain amount per piece of content, no risk to you. That's right. Benefits, t-shirts and stickers, that private Facebook group, troll-free zone. You get access to podcasts early, live video broadcasts, and chat when we do those, up to premium videos, of course, and then those ride, meetup, and events, which the ride, meetup, and events are going on right in the Facebook group, and the non-sanctioned ones is what I want to talk about, where members are just getting together in certain parts of the U.S. and they're organizing them right in there where you can meet up. So that's been a really cool thing.
Yeah, they're happening more and more. It seems like there's 3 or 4 a year now. Around the U.S.
I can't even
awesome.
keep up, and it's just handled in there. And they do sign up sheets and get together and all that. So there you go. We do want to make an announcement that it's unfortunate. And we are very sorry. I know that our beloved audience understands the amount of work that goes into, keeping this content coming to you guys. And I will say that I've had some recent health issues, but I'm okay. So don't worry for me too much there. But I've had some health issues. It set us back on content. It set us back a bit on content, and I hate announcing it, but we have to, and I know that you guys will understand, but we will not have this year be having a sanctioned, the regular, law-abiding biker sponsored meetup and event. So I know that's going to disappoint some of you. We usually have between 20, 30 people that can actually make it depending on where we're going in the country. And I know some of you look forward to that. Again, all I can do is give you my apologies, Lurch and I. It's just too much with what was going on to organize that in an orderly fashion to make it work. It's a lot. It's a lot. And anything on that, Lurch?
Well, I think you hit it pretty well there. There's a lot that goes into that. You wouldn't think it'd be that big of a deal, but we got to get venues, and we've got to get food, and we've got to get ride planned, and it's always much more difficult because we don't live in the area that we're trying to arrange it. So it is a major undertaking, and unfortunately, in order to get us back on track with content, that went by the wayside. But it will be back the following year. And I just encourage you guys, like Ryan said earlier, to do those unsanctioned events and keep getting together.
Yep. That's the first one we haven't had. And again, there's a lot of other stuff going on in that private Facebook group, meetup, rides, and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, we're going to keep making sure we got content coming at you guys. So there you go. Just wanted to make that announcement. We'll announce that. I need to do that in the private Facebook group too. All right. So anyways, we love our beloved patrons. There you go. Direct sponsors of this show. Now, main topic, Harley-Davidson 2022 model release, which it was a virtual release, right?
Right.
January 26, 2022. Now, I'm also actually, at the time of this podcast, I have an edit, a video on the new 2022 models that I talk about, but it'll be good. It'll be precise, succinct. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It will be. And
are you keeping it pithy?
I'm trying to keep it pithy, but it's got a lot of information. But of course, here on the podcast, you're going to get a lot more information because we have time to really talk about it and break it down. So yeah, it was a video. And if you want to see the actual further, faster seems to be their motto, right? For 2022.
Definitely. Yeah. I think, and it was further, faster, longer. Was it last year? It's a deviation of what it was last year, but they've shortened it down to just further and faster.
Yeah. I think they threw something in at the end of the video, but I can't remember on that. So now in this episode, I know we've got some new bikes that, and we're going to get into it, like the Lowrider ST, right? Mm-hmm. That's one of the big new ones. And we've got the new Street Glide and Road Glide STs off the top of my head. Now, of course, we want to break those down and talk about those, but we're actually going to go, because we've got such a broad array of listeners, we're really going to go through all the bikes. We're going to go through the entire bike lineup, so to speak. So not just the new bikes and some of the colors. It'll give the whole audience a really good overview of what's available to you and what a lot of the differences are. So hopefully that's helpful. And that's why I say it may turn into maybe a 2-part episode. We shall see.
We'll see how long-winded we get, huh?
Yeah, right. Exactly. That is the key. So let's start here, Lurch, with some of the opener here. And I did it up front about Jochen saying it's unprecedented times and all that. All right, here we go. Jochen started on this video, if you remember, Lurch, with a brief look back at the 2021 models.
Yep.
And I think it's important why they did that. And it really focuses on the Pan America and Sportster S. And the reason is because those were mid-year releases, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And both of those bikes having that Revolution Max 1250 power train. Of course, the S, I think the Sportster S has the T.
Yep.
The 1250T, which it's tuned just a little bit different. So do you want to go over this, or do you want me to do this and you grab the next section, or what?
You go ahead.
Okay. All right. Jochen, interestingly enough, there was a lot of naysayers on the Pan America.
A lot of skeptics thinking that, and you know what? I have to be honest. I was a little skeptical myself. If you listen back to some of our earlier podcasts, you'll hear me say that, just stick to what you know, Harley.
Right.
If I want to get a dual sport bike, there's, plenty of bikes out there. There's Kawasaki's and Yamahas and Hondas and all that kind of stuff. I had to swallow my words or eat my words because they knocked it out of the park with the Pan America. I think they shocked a lot of people.
Yeah, they did. And I wasn't necessarily a skeptic, other than I thought it would be overpriced. I was afraid that it was going to be overpriced like the Livewire, and then it was going to turn people off. But of course, we got to go down to Sturgis and test ride that thing. Amazing. Of course, I did a full video on that, very popular video on the channel. So check that on the YouTube channel. Check that out. But not only did they knock it out of the park, they got Motorcycle of the Year and Best Adventure Motorcycle from motorcycle.com and Best Adventure Bike from Cycle World. And I think those awards are well deserved, in my opinion, after riding it and as well as it's done. So there you go. And remember, there's just to recap, obviously their first adventure touring bike, the Pan America, Harley's first stab at it. And there's the regular Pan America, and then there's the Pan America Special.
Yep.
Right? With all the bells and whistles. And there's a new color selections. And it
on the 2022s?
On the 2022s, yeah. Accessories and uploads for the Pan America. I was a little disappointed that they got rid of the orange, the original, the one I rode. What was it? White.
You had orange, white, and then of course a lot of black on the bike as well. It was a really good color combination.
Yep. It was so that saddens me a little bit. I just thought it screamed Harley Davidson, that orange tank and white fairing and all that. They did get rid of it. Now, the regular Pan America looks like it's coming in Vivid Black only, and the Pan America Special coming in the Vivid Black and Gauntlet Gray Metallic with cast or laced wheels. And, they all come with cast or laced wheels, right?
Right.
Vivid Black, Gauntlet Gray, and Fast Back Blue White Sand. Again, all coming with cast or laced wheel.
That blue and white
options.
is a good color combination, but I'm with you. It's not quite as awesome as orange and white.
No, you like the blue and white?
I like it. I'm not hating on it, but I prefer the orange. If I had the options, I'd go with the orange and white.
Me too. And that's the one they seem to have got, swapped, I guess. They have to swap colors. That's the thing in the years. But I, for some reason, thought that would stay that way just because it's so iconic, I guess, and for lack of a better term. Maybe
they went away from it so that they could keep that color combination just for that first model year because it was such an iconic and new thing. You may not even see that color combination again for a while.
Right.
Just to keep it on that first bike to make those more special, if you will, or unique.
Right.
Just my thought. I could be completely full of shit. Usually am.
Well, that's what we do here. Pretty much just talk shit the whole time. So, and by the way, we did do, if you remember back, and I know you do, we did an in-depth podcast interview about the Pan America and kind of how it came to be with Paul James, Senior Manager of Public Relations, and Mike Case, Group Chief Engineer for Vehicle Platforms. Off the top of my head, I don't remember what episode number it is, but that's okay. We'll try to put it in the show notes. Should we just look it up?
I'll look it up while you're talking. How about that?
Oh no, dude, I'm going to do it live here, dude.
Oh yeah. That's why it's really good for good pod. Makes for good podcasting, right? Well, the hosts are doing research. Oh
yeah, dude. That's how we roll, dude. That's how we roll. Yeah. LAB-290.
Well, that was, that was one we just did with Chris Foster, but he was on a Pan America.
That's right. That's a cool one too.
That turned out really well.
Yeah.
There it is. 274.
274. lawabidingbiker.com/274 is how if you want to listen to that. I think that it was a good episode. It'll give you a good insight into the Pan America if you are at all interested in doing a little bit of adventure riding or off-road riding kind of deal.
A lot of information in that podcast from Paul and especially from Mike because he was one of the engineers on the project. It was a lot of good information that I don't know that you'd necessarily see in your average YouTube video or hear in your average podcast, but we got it and we brought it to you.
All right. Lurch is going to talk next, of course, about the Sportster S because we want to, again, I know these are 2021 bikes, but we want to give you a really good, because they were mid-year releases, we want to give you a real good idea of what's available. Anything else on the Pan America before we move on that you want to say?
No, I don't think so.
I think they said there's new accessories, and updates for the Pan America in 2022. So accessories, So Lurch is going to head into the Sportster S.
What a badass little bike. I wish I was an average sized man so I can ride it. If I got on one, I'd look like a monkey humping a football. But that Revolution Max, and then you're right, they call it the T because they tuned it differently. Obviously, you want different power bands and whatnot for a off-road bike versus an on-road bike. But what a badass little bike. It's a ripper, crazy fast. Jochen teases us and says, we're just getting started with the next generation of the Sportster and look forward with sharing more with you soon. So that leads me to believe that there's going to be even more updates and changes to that Sportster line. That thing's got the 1250T in it, and it just hauls ass. You can get it in vivid black, mineral green metallic. That's kind of a neat color. I'm really not sure about it. I know. Yeah, I'm kind of back and forth on it. What do you think about it?
I like it. Again, I'm not usually a fan of green necessarily.
Your Tahoe's green.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's got to be like the
right kind of green.
Yeah, a certain kind. And this is the.
It's got more blue in it, doesn't it?
Let's see.
Pull it up there while we're looking.
Pull it up here.
New motorcycle Sportster. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Sportster S. Yeah, and it's definitely like I don't even know. You guys can, if you're by your computers, you could certainly take a look at it here. It's more like, I don't even know to say a lime. It's not a lime green, but I think it's okay. It's a different green than my Tahoe.
Yeah, no, your Tahoe's definitely got more blue. This is more like a yellow green.
And that's just such
almost kind of bronzy-ish a little bit.
And I love the It's got, pretty fat tires for that little bike. It's short.
High pipes come up, kind of reminiscent of a sport bike that come up out the top.
At the right, on the right-hand side there.
Got the that little extension off the swing arm that has the license plate holder and the lights and all. It's very modern looking and very, sporty for a Sportster.
Yeah,
it's a good-looking bike.
I forgot about the taillights and the license plate when you look at that.
Yeah.
Just coming off the left, it's kind of to the swing arm there.
I think they did a good job of modernizing it, but also staying true to what a Harley looks like.
Right.
That makes sense. It's a good combination. And from what I see, it's really taken off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting a lot of, they did the publicity event. And actually, when we were down there, when we went down to test the Pan America, we could have tested the Sportster S2, but we didn't, just because we wanted to spend more time on the Pan America. And there was very limited time. Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah, and the Sportster had already been out for a little while. We didn't want to shortchange our review of the Pan America.
Right. Yep. So, anyways, hopefully, I will eventually get to ride that bike at some point.
I bet you.
And who knows? Like we say, predictions. I know some people made predictions that a new Sportster this mid-year
potentially because they did cut one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Or they may just
Iron 1200.
Yeah, yes,
which we'll get into. So. But yeah, they did cut a Sportster, so maybe they're going to bring another one back.
Maybe with the Revolution Max.
Yeah,
I think they're powertrain. I think they're kind of moving towards.
Might see that mid-year.
Yeah, I might see that mid-year. All right, and then why don't you, if you're comfortable talking about the Icons collection there.
Let's see what we got here. Okay, so Harley introduced the Icons collection in 2021, starting with the release of the Electric Glide Revival, which is a modern reproduction of the 1969 Harley-Davidson Classic and has a Milwaukee 114 engine along with all new modern bells and whistle. It is a cool looking bike. And we've done podcasts in the past where we had live chat going on and while we were talking about this bike, and it seems like people are pretty divided. Either you like it or you don't. It is when you look at it, it has a classic styling of the older bike, but it's got a two-tone paint job. It's got a blue and white paint job, and it's kind of a 50s, 60s kind of color scheme. And I like it.
I'm pulling it up here.
I like it, but it seemed like most folks, if they didn't like it, they didn't like it because of that color combo. But with the bags and the bag guards and the tractor seat and all that kind of stuff, they've got it looking definitely. I think they did a really good job of honoring that older bike, but still having modern touches to it.
That 114 laced wheels. We're looking at it now, guys. White saddlebags. And then the fender is blue. The tank is blue and black. Blue with black at kind of half. Looking, obviously the tractor seat gives it that. I would love to have this thing. It's just, it's got the three, the regular headlight and then the two fog, what do we call those? Accessory lights, I guess.
Yeah, passing lights or accessory lights, fog lights, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them. And it's all got the bells and whistles, even though it's an electric glide. They went through the boombox GTS system in there, and they just did a really good job. And of course, when we get to predictions, we'll get there.
Okay,
but
thank you for saying that, or else I would have went down that road.
Yeah, we know probably that they're gonna come out with some sort of icon bike. We just don't know what it was. Let's do this real quick.
Hey Bikeaholics, searching for new and exciting motorcycle products? Ciro 3D has products you dream about for your bike. Check out their wide variety of innovative products for Harley Davidson and Honda Goldwing motorcycles. Now Ciro 3D's got your back with chrome, black parts, lighting, and other comfort products. No modifying, cutting, grinding, or welding for an easy installation. That equals less time installing and more time riding. Ciro 3D has a design team of riders with over 40 years of experience with a passion for design and innovation. Ciro and Goldstrike are the motorcycle LED lighting innovators for CAN bus plug-and-play system compatibility. They pride themselves on great customer service. Got a question? Get in touch with them via email at sales@ciro3d.com or give them a call at 715-808-0027. Check out your local Harley or Honda shop and ask for Ciro or Goldstrike parts. A new leader has emerged, so check out Ciro 3D's custom line of Goldstrike products for the all-new Honda Goldwings. Better yet, help support us and head on over to lawabidingbiker.com/store and check out our full line of Serial 3D products.
There you go, guys. Yeah. All right. The old Icons collection. I think it's a cool thing they added. I'm just waiting to see one of those rolling around town sometime.
Yeah, I haven't seen one yet. Well, I take it back. I did see one
You did?
Sturgis. Yeah, they had one. They had one down there at their tent down there in downtown Sturgis.
Gotcha.
When you jumped on and took off for your press ride, I walked over there and was checking stuff out and saw one. Beautiful color.
Yeah. Was it for sale or somebody actually owned it?
No, it was there. I assume it was for sale. I mean, I
didn't know if you saw it out in the parking lot.
No, it was in Harley's tent in their display.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if they sold it, they probably wouldn't want you to take it until after the Sturgis. But so I did see one in person. Good looking bike.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. At least you've seen one in person. I have not, but I just want to see one rolling down the road eventually. But they're only making limited amounts of those, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you're looking. I'll see if I can figure out how many they're making. But
that's all right.
It's definitely it should be a one and done.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It's limited in that they just did it last year.
Right.
They'll move on to another one. We think this year.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They just made limited number. So, Lurch, have you seen the King of Baggers?
A little bit.
Watched any of this?
A little bit, not much.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, it is.
They went over, the reason we're going over this is because Jochen went, I guess Jochen didn't, but the video did a little bit. And it's kind of new. They did it last year, but it is King of the Baggers. What'd you think of it?
It's fun to watch.
Yeah. What is it?
It's super bike racing on baggers instead of sport bikes. So they're taking the baggers and they've juiced up the motor, the suspension. They have a little bit different size bag on them. They're even, I think on the race bikes, they're even smaller because those guys lean those bikes over and they're touching their knees.
Mm-hmm, they got the knee drag thing.
Yeah, they really had to do quite a bit on those bikes to make them be able to perform at that high level.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to watch, and it's baggers. It's different baggers. Of course, Indian and Harley were going head to head in that series, and it's worth noting that Harley-Davidson's Screaming Eagle factory team rider Kyle Wyman, if you're familiar with him, I'm not. I am now because I did show notes, but I didn't watch it enough to really know the riders and all that, but he won the 2021 Moto America King of Baggers Championship on his Road Glide. Of course, like you say, souped up Road Glide, all customized, and he actually won over Indian, which was a point of contention, of course, between Indian fans here and Harley fans, I should say. Here, we don't care. We support all bikes. But of course, if you were rooting for Harley, that was a big win, and it was a big deal to a lot of people. But it's fun to watch. It is. It's very entertaining. I kind of just hit some YouTube videos, and they showed some shots of it in the release video here in 2022. But and also Kyle Wyman, apparently he did this race where he finished number 1 3 weeks after surgery with a titanium plate and 6 screws in his broken elbow. He was riding. That's how bad he wanted that title, I guess. So yeah, if you haven't checked it out, I want to check it out a little more. I don't know what the exact schedule is of that, but they're going to do it again this year, and definitely worth checking out. You want to talk about the marketplace there, Lurch?
Yeah. Before I do that, just going back to the electric glide, there's 1,500 of them made. 1,500.
So that'll probably be the number for different Icons collection bikes. It's not a lot.
No.
So the chances of seeing one of those things is very rare out in the wild.
In the wild, yeah. And if you're one of the lucky people that has it, you've truly got something unique there.
Yeah, right. Right, you really do. Yeah, cool bike. You know about this, and they announced this too in 2021, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, they released the marketplace on Harley-Davidson's website. We talked about it in a previous podcast, but I'll give you another summary again. Now you can go on their website and look at bikes all over the U.S., Whereas before, you'd have to go to your local Harley Davidson dealership's website and look to see their inventory. Now you can go right to Harley's page and you can search as far away from your location as you want and find all the different bikes that are available.
Right. And I just want to make sure I missed part of what you were saying there. So you're talking about new bikes right now?
New and used. Yeah, okay, you can also buy used. Yeah. So it's one-stop shopping. You can go on to Harley Davidson's website, click on the marketplace, and now you're shopping new and used bikes and you can go in and set up your distance that you want to search. So I radius. Can put, thank you. So I can go and put like 200-mile radius from Yakima, and I can look at bikes from all over. And in fact, I mean, if you want to, you can buy it right through the website and do all that. They're really kind of stepping into the future here. And it's becoming the way these days to buy vehicles.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't either. I like to go kick the tires and like touch stuff.
I want to go in and walk around like I used to and check bikes out.
On a brand new bike, I'd be less concerned. Used, I would be more concerned buying a used bike, sight unseen. But a lot of these, if you buy these things online, they're delivered. There's usually a timeline in there where you can decide to keep it or not keep it.
Yeah, and so if you go here, bikes, obviously you can go new motorcycles, and then you've got all your different sport.
No, go over one. Go to HD1 Marketplace. You're on.
No, I will.
Oh, okay.
I was just explaining.
Okay.
But yeah, you can go to new motorcycles, and you've got all your lineups, and then you can go to HD1 Marketplace, or down here, right under bikes, you can go to pre-owned motorcycles. So that's their pre-owned, and then if you go to, so they've got it in really two places.
Oh yeah, they do.
That's what I was. Yeah, HD1 Marketplace right across the top. Pre-owned inventory. You can sell or trade your bike now too, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they'll take a commission. You can sell your bike and they'll take a commission or whatnot. And then certified pre-owned.
Which is new. Yeah. So now they've got Honda and some other manufacturers have done this for cars for a long time where, usually they're only just a couple of years old and they have low miles, and the dealership will go through that vehicle and certify it. And generally it comes with some type of, limited warranty. So, you got your used and then you got your certified used, and generally speaking, the certified are in better shape, and that the dealer's gone through them and they're backing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's interesting. Yeah, you're right. Yes. Pre-owned certified. Car dealerships have been doing that for a while. It'll be interesting to see how it all works out for Harley on this. It's just going to mean, though, we've talked about this when we did our 2022 predictions, I think, our podcast. We did, you remember?
Yeah, and I think that one came out January 3rd. We talked about what we thought the 2022 lineup was going to look like, and this information was already out there, so we discussed the marketplace on that one.
And so we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be, in that podcast we talked about, it's going to be less bikes in the dealerships. Because, right? Yeah,
that also,
you're buying them through.
Well, then let's talk about the reserve thing too. You can go on and reserve your own a bike, and they're really Harleys. It's not the only way that you can get a new Harley by going through the website and reserving one, but they're using it to help them get their inventory out to the areas where it needs to be. Meaning, if they know that a certain number of people want road glides or street glides in an area, they can push that limited supply of bikes to that area.
Mm-hmm.
But so they are stepping into the future. I think younger generation that is much more comfortable buying stuff online, this is going to help with them in that aspect. But they did say that although there's that reserve program, you can still go to your local dealership and see bikes. It's just if you have a better chance of getting the one you want and set up the way you want by going through the reserve process.
Yes.
But old farts like you and me can still go down and kick tires and look at them.
Right. Yeah. And so I guess it'll be interesting. If we get on the website, I know you've spent a little time on it. I've spent a little bit of time on it, but not a lot, just to kind of see the flow of if you were actually going to purchase a new bike, because you can do it like right there.
Yeah, and it'll automatically hook you up with the dealer closest to you, but you can go in and select a different dealer if you have a relationship with, instead, if say we didn't want to go to Yakima, we want to go Tri-Cities or Seattle, you can still do that. But automatically it'll hook you up with the closest one.
All right. So, all right, guys. Yeah. So that's a lot of the 2021 roundup, I'll say.
Okay.
With some of the things that are worth noting. because it was the mid-year release, and hopefully it just gives everybody a good idea of what's going on, not just with bikes, but within Harley and the processes and that kind of stuff, guys. So if you're in the market for a new bike, get in there and play around a little bit. So here we go. We're going to get in now. We're going to start some of the actual 2022 models. So up until now, guys, we just had the standard and special street glides and road glide models. And this was one of the huge announcements. And that is that we now have the all new Street Glide ST and Road Glide ST. And really the launch of these two bikes, I guess, is Harley's first step into like performance baggers. The leading great American touring product line. There's just a ton to talk about on the STs, but it really comes from King of the Baggers. A lot of people are saying
that's a big part of it. And one thing that I believe is Jochen on the launch would talked about, or maybe it's somebody else, but anyways, they were saying that they pay attention to the motorcycle culture and what the trends are. And with these road glides and street glides, they were seeing a lot of people setting them up to be a performance bagger. So the trend was going that way. People were putting suspension on that, got it up a little bit more. They were putting, shorter chop bags on it. And so they're seeing a trend where this was the way that a lot of people were making their bikes or taking their bikes that direction. And so they're going to do it for you right from the factory. You can get one like that.
Yep. And we're going to, before we even get started with that, we're going to do this real quick. Are you searching for the easiest and quickest detachable luggage system for your motorcycle? Rick Rack has just what you're looking for. Forget all those frustrating straps and bungee cords that could come loose and slap your paint.
Slap your paint.
Check out one of Rick Rack's awesome quick attached strapless luggage rack systems. This father-son team designed something really special. You can't find it anywhere else. Yep, and these guys ride, so they truly understand the needs of bikers. The Rick Rack quick attach system is strong, durable, and secure with a lockable system. Also, check out their full line of quality touring bags to accompany your quick detach system. Once you use Rick Rack, you'll never go back. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Head over to Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of Rick Rack systems and bags. And it wasn't too long ago we put a video out on the YouTube channel with the Rick Rack, right? All coming, the new stuff, the new roller bag. It's all coming, guys. It's put together for you when it ships. It's got roller wheels on it and the handle and all that kind of stuff that you can pop out and slide out, making it really easy. It's got the quick detach system already secured to it, and it's their new bag, their bag.
And also some new trunk liners and saddlebag liners that came out with.
True.
We did that one as well.
Yep, trunk liners for you guys with the full touring, and saddlebag liners that make it really convenient for packing and then just grabbing and going with your stuff. So there you go. All right, Lurch, let's do the ST models and see where we go from there. These are designed for weight, power, and performance. They are quite a bit different, I should say. And in fact, quite a bit different. Let's pull a...
Gonna do a comparison?
Well, let's just pull up a Adventure Touring Cruiser.
It'll be under Grand
American Touring. Yeah. So if you guys, we've been talking here, but your lineup of categories, they've changed a bit too. You've got Sport, Cruiser, Adventure Touring, which is your Pan America, of course, and then Grand American Touring and Trike. Grand American Touring is all your touring bikes, and we're going to pull up a Street Glide ST here.
Why not the Road Glide ST?
Because
you're partial to the Street Glide.
Exactly.
What was it, a Road Glide or Street Glide that won the bagger, King of the Baggers? Well, it's a Road Glide.
It was, in fact, it was. It was just my first click, man. Don't take offense.
That's funny because if you look, I'll show you what I got on mine. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
If you look at what's on my screen,
you got the old Road Glide in the gunship gray color. You tend to pull up
what you like. I like the roadie, and you like the street,
or what you're used to. No,
you're used to, yeah.
I think the Road Glide's badass too, dude. I'd own either one. They're both awesome looking bikes in their own way. So these bikes designed weight, power, performance. What else? They got rid of...
Front fender's a little different.
Yep.
It's got more of a sculpted, smaller fender that hugs a tire. The crash bars are interesting. Instead of being all the way up to the top, they're like halfway.
Yes. And with the regular street glides, they're still using the full, right? We better check.
On the regular,
yeah, they're still using. Special.
That's the regular. On the special, they might have the shorter ones too.
Yeah, the Road Glide Special, I'll do a Road Glide for you.
Yeah, specials and the STs have the.
So the special models are coming with the lower. Yeah. I just found that out. With the lower crash bars.
Yeah, instead of the top of the crash bar being all the way up towards the top of that front neck there, or the front down tubes, it's only about halfway up.
I wonder how that is. I know it probably works the same, but it kind of puts it so maybe some accessories can be made, because you could put your feet, if you have the right length legs, you could now on the top of you. I mean, you could do it before, but your legs would be straight out. Now you could put your feet kind of up there, and if they have some kind of accessory,
lights maybe,
or rubber thing to put your feet up there, you know what I mean? Something like that. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. But yeah, so
I'm not sure if it's for styling or if it's to reduce a little bit of weight, because these are about,
well, the specials,
they're about 11
pounds.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the ST in particular. It's about 11 pounds lighter.
11 pounds
wet.
lighter?
Yeah, about 11 pounds wet, lighter than the special.
Okay. All right. And this is the first time that you're seeing a CVO level powertrain.
Yep.
Which is coming with the 117, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The 117 on a non-CVO bike. And that, I think that probably has some of the CVO guys that maybe a little bit pissed or something about it.
I can tell you, particularly with the color, the gunship gray, I have seen that
the gunship gray. Yeah.
It came out in 2018 on a CVO. And so some of the folks that bought those are a little torqued, because Harley typically doesn't bring back CVO colors and put them on non-CVO bikes.
Right.
So if you've got that 2018 gunship CVO, now all these bikes coming out are looking very similar to it. So you've lost some of your uniqueness on that one.
Yes, true. So yeah, we might have some CVO guys pounding their fist on the desk right now, or pounding whatever. So yeah, coming with the Milwaukee 117 powertrain. Of course, we look at this bike. I'll go back to that one. It's got a heavy breather.
Yep.
And it's got 2 into 1 into 2, right?
Yes.
2 into 1 into 2 exhaust. And apparently, of course, I think it goes without saying that they've fine-tuned that heavy breather to that exhaust system. So yeah, it's kind of ready to go out of the box, so to speak. And we'll talk a little more about that. And they did apparently a specific Harley logo. I got this all from the video.
Oh, on the tank?
A Harley logo on the tank that is taken from bikes from like the 1920s. It's funny because it's such a modern bike, but yet look at the graphics on that tank.
Yeah, they did that with the Sportster S too, to make, and the Icon. I'm seeing these new bikes where they're definitely pushing the envelope forward with being modern, but they're keeping some tradition,
some nostalgia,
and by throwing in that paint on there, it definitely is a nod back to the older bikes. And I got to tell you, looking at it, I prefer that versus like the chrome stick-on
thing
crap that I got on the side of my bike. I'd much rather have that.
I agree. It's basically the Harley dash and then the Davidsons below it offset a little bit, and it's hollow.
Kind of like a 20s, 30s
it's
look.
kind of a stencil, look. Is that the right thing?
Sure.
Like a stencil look with, so you see the paint and all that, and it's just the writing kind of over it. And it's pretty nostalgic. And I think I agree with you that it's nice and it fits for that bike. What else you want to say about the ST? Anything?
It sits, so the Street Glide and Road Glide specials sit an inch lower.
Okay, right.
Than your like your Ultra and the
Electric Glide, right?
And so what they did with this is they went up to that higher height. So it's this ST sits an inch higher in the rear than the special.
Okay.
And the reason is for more suspension and lean angle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they also have the bags are reminiscent of bags from, I don't know, they're similar to like my 15 or 14. They're not as elongated. They don't come down and fit around the exhaust pipe. I can't think of the word right now.
Yeah, contoured bags around
sculpted or whatever. I can't.
They aren't doing that.
No, so they're
not. They're just like the regular Road Glide Special bags.
No. See how those drop down and have cut out for the exhaust.
It's funny how you'd learn more and more the more you look.
Yeah, I can't remember. I mean? Don't quote me on this, but they started doing those ones on the specials. I think was it 19?
Where they're contoured around the pipes a little bit at the back.
Which is a good look.
It is.
But it also limits the type of exhaust that you can put on.
And
if you go to a single exhaust, it looks goofy because you don't have anything in that one hole on the left. So,
right. Right.
But I think they have these bags on the ST to make sure that you got a really good lean angle. And you're not going to be dragging anything. And also it probably reduces a little bit of weight too.
Yeah.
I also noticed that the back end looks a little different too.
Yeah, you did the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I just noticed it the other day. Instead of having the filled in fender.
So in between the bag and the fender is that trim piece. You guys know what we're talking about.
So it looks more like the Ultra or the Electric Glide. They have cutouts in there.
Why do you think they would do that?
No idea, unless it's just for weight. Because it also doesn't have the tri-bar underneath. It's got a higher. It sits up. The fender's shorter. I think it all has to do with just lean angle and all that kind of stuff and reducing weight.
That's the one thing I don't like.
And it's actually got a tail light on it versus just the lights.
Yeah, it's got a tail light.
Much more like the other touring models.
Yeah, like the Ultras.
Yeah, it
is, and I don't know why they did that.
I don't either.
Why would you leave that cut out?
Maybe so wind can go through it and you can go 1 mile an hour faster.
I don't know, dude.
I have no idea.
It's just weird to me. I wish that we had an answer to that because I've never liked the cutouts. I've always liked the solid piece. I think it finishes the bike. It looks like it's unfinished for some reason to me.
It does.
The ST we're talking about, guys, it has those. Yeah, so take a look at it when you get a chance. Coming in, Vivid Black. Good looking bike. I like black bikes, but I'll never own one. Probably just because they get dirty, so they show everything.
They do, and I just don't think they quite hold up to the abuse that we would give it. Meaning, with chrome, it doesn't chip necessarily. It seems like it's a lot sturdier and hardier,
right?
And it's easier to clean. The all black bikes, from the few folks that I know that have them, one of their complaints is like rock chips and whatnot.
They just show up worse.
Yeah.
Oh, on the parts.
On the parts.
I was talking about the Vivid Black paint.
Well, black and
you're talking about the also black trim.
Yeah, the trim,
the engine and exhaust pipes, and shows everything really bad. Yeah, that's true.
And the black on black is just, for me, too much black.
Agree, and that's what that bike is, huh?
But they do, these STs do have a bit of bronze on them, kind of like the lowrider STs have had, or S's have had in the past. They've got some got a bronze trim on the wheels, on the motor.
Yep.
A little bit here and there on the badging.
Yep. So they kept true to that. That's cool. To that look, I guess.
Solo seat versus a dual seat.
Yeah.
There's some weight savings there. I mean, and looking at
what are you looking at right now?
I'm looking at the ST.
Oh yeah, right.
I'm looking at a Road Glide ST.
Are you down at parts or something?
No, I'm just looking at the bike itself.
Oh, the bike itself. Gotcha.
It's got a solo seat on it. It comes with a solo seat, but it has the spot where you can add the back seat, meaning the screw for the back part of a full seat.
Right. And with that said, there are, of course, Harley, is going to make an entire collection of add-on parts for the ST models called, I think they call it the Performance Bagger Trim Kit. And for some coin, for some money, you can really dress this frickin' bike up, guys, and make it even more powerful, like putting a stage 4 kit on it and high flow exhaust, a stage 4 kit, making it a 131, right? Mm-hmm. Making it a 131 stage 4 kit. And interesting, because we saw this in King of the Baggers, is those Olin Screaming Eagle Olins. They're made by Olins, but they're branded Screaming Eagle.
Are those the ones
shocks,
with the
little canisters?
Remote reserve? Yeah, the remote. What do you call that?
I don't know much about them. Tell me about them. What do you know about them?
I mean,
I just know there's the little tanks,
reservoirs
in the back, and
You really would need Oscar to really get into it.
No,
but I could
just generally.
In general, I believe you can have more fluid in there, and then it has to do with the fluid and the flow and being able to stay cool and all that kind of stuff. It's just a higher performing shock.
Yeah,
you see that a lot on race vehicles, even like trucks and Baja trucks and whatnot. They'll have those remote reservoirs. And my understanding of it's limited, so please forgive me, listening audience, if you're a shock expert.
Yeah.
But it's just a higher performing because of I think you can have more fluid, the flow of the fluid, and keeping it cool. Once the fluid heats up, obviously you're going to start having some reduced performance.
Interesting. We'll have to. Yeah, I've never really looked into them that much, so I don't know a ton about them. But they are
much more adjustable too,
and they're using them on the King of the Bagger bikes, right?
Yeah,
and that's where it came from. So,
and those reservoirs stick out the back.
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe that's part of the reason they have that cut out in the back on this one. I don't know. Maybe that just came to me.
Yeah, I don't know how they adjust, but they stick out quite far in the video when you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, this bike is just your performance road glide and street glide. A lot of guys, like Lert said, we're building them up and doing a lot of this stuff anyways. And this is something that, right out of the box, it basically gives you a shortcut to your performance bagger dreams, if you want to call it, if you're dreaming about it. And these ST models starting at $30,000, and that's starting. Yeah, we always do starting.
I'm looking at some Öhlins shocks, not the Screaming Eagle ones, but the Öhlins that are made for Harley Davidson, and I mean they're like $1,500.
So they're going to be more with Screaming Eagle stamped on them, I'm sure. All right, let's do this real quick. Ride longer and treat your ass with some respect already. Get hooked up with a premium butt buffer seat cushion. This company of bikers developed a super thin hospital-grade seat cushion made of solid and elastic materials, and it's unlike gel pads that will leak if punctured. The butt buffer is designed not to slide around on your seat, fits all motorcycles, installs in seconds, easily cleans, and helps to dampen vibrations. With plenty of models to choose from, they assure you'll have comfortable ass when riding. Head over to Law Abiding Biker store and check out our full line of butt buffer seat cushions, guys. There you go.
Before we finish up on those bikes or the baggers, the King of the Baggers, King of Baggers. It's available on Fox Sports and Motor America Live Plus.
Fox Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And what was the other one?
Of course, you would ask me after I went away from that tab. I never heard of it, but Motor America Live Plus. I'm guessing that's a streaming service. Would be my guess.
And they replay a lot of the stuff on YouTube, I think. I'm not sure. You can get pieces of it, I guess. But Fox Sports, there's where you can follow it if you want. You can get both the ST models. Obviously, I said Vivid Black or Gunship Gray, which is my favorite color out of the two.
I agree.
And we talked about that. However, they only come, we talked about that we didn't. They only come with black powertrain and exhaust. And I'll be personally, I'm disappointed with that. I get it. They have to make X amount of bikes, or they can only make X amount of bikes. But I really wish they would have made the ST models with a chrome trim version. And I know that we've talked about that in the past. They've done that with the Street Glide and Road Glide specials. And I just think there's a lot of traditional chrome guys that would not buy that bike, would want the bike, but wouldn't buy it just because it doesn't have chrome trim. So it'll be interesting to see if in the future they add that. But with that said, I still think it's a badass bike, and I still want one. I mean, I would still want one. I'm not getting one. I can't afford that, but I would still want one. I mean, we're picking it apart a little bit here, but I was drooling when I was watching the video about it.
Yeah, we've both said that there's no way we would drop the amount of money you need to drop to get a CVO. So this is your opportunity now to get that CVO powertrain, but at a much more reasonable price. If I was in the market for a new bike, it'd be a tough decision for me between the Special and the ST. I'd really have to chew on that one for a while.
Yeah. Me too, bro. Me too. Well, we have got a lot to talk about. We honestly have just got started. And we're going to talk about some of the other, of course, the Lowrider ST, which is coming up, and a bunch of the other bikes. But with that said, this is going to be
two-parter.
A two-part episode, guys.
We never, sometimes we think it might go long and we don't know, and we should understand that we get blabbering and it's always going to go along.
Yeah, that's a fact. And of course, we love our sponsors, our patron members. We want to get to know you better, become a patron. We want to in the private Facebook group and all that. But hey, if the only way you can support us is through a flat donation, we never balk at a flat donation. We want to thank Haven Morrison of Branson, Missouri, Carl Scholl Sr., I should say, of Jacksonville, Florida, Joseph Wagner of Granite Falls, New York. Thank you. lawabidingbiker.com/donate is how they did that. And we certainly appreciate that. Helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank.
So keep this thing running on down the road. Sorry about that. I was typing something up. You were throwing me the softball, and I damn near missed it.
That's all right. It's all right. All right, guys. Call to action. Call to action. Don't forget, do that Amazon affiliate for us, guys. What I mean by that, anytime you can go to lawabidingbiker.com/banners, BANNERS. All our affiliate banners are there for different motorcycle stores and things like that. And if you click through and make a purchase, we do get a small commission. Definitely help support us. And you can do that with Amazon. You can actually just go to lawabidingbiker.com/Amazon and then bookmark it.
That's what I do.
Yep, bookmark it and just call it like Help Lab or Lab Amazon. And anytime you click through that from then on and buy something, it's supporting us, and it doesn't matter what you buy. It doesn't have to be motorcycle stuff. So we really appreciate the affiliate income that we get from doing that. Bookmark it in your web browser, guys. lawabidingbiker.com/Amazon. And don't forget, guys, lawabidingbiker.com/contact. You can hit us up, leave a voicemail over there using your microphone right built into your computer or phone. And we love to put those out for the community. We love the voicemails, like to hear your voices. So yeah, do that. And don't forget, if you can't do any of that, support financially, at least give us a rating, for the podcast, whatever podcast platform you are listening on, especially iTunes. Give us that 5-star review, guys. It helps bump us up in the rankings so more bikers around the world can find us and join this thing we call
the Biker Revolution.
That's right. Hashtag Biker Revolution, guys. We will see you in part 2 of 2. And like I say, we've still got a lot of stuff for 2022 to get into. So look forward to seeing you there. Or talking to you there, I should say.